So let's take a look at this 2012 GMC Sierra that I just picked up at government auction. So I've given it a little run today. It's about 2 hours worth of driving. You can see that we've got a little grill issue there. Bumper's nice and clean, which is kind of cool. Tires, surprisingly, the vehicle's been sitting for what they told me was about 2 years, which I think is really just 2 seasons, and it has the look like someone's actually been driving it. But there's a fair bit of cake of mud and debris actually in the wheels, so I get that nice little vibration as we're driving, and the rotors are starting to look a little bit on the, well, seasoned look to it. So we're probably going to do up a set of brakes. Going down the body line, you can see that it's not in bad shape considering it's been a work truck. The mirror caps are in decent shape, they're not cracked. The windshield's nice and clean, no chips, no damage to it. It doesn't look to be the original glass, so at some point it's been replaced and it's been properly sealed up at the top. So again, a nice little feature there. The wipers are definitely aged. They're melted to the actual window, so interesting. On the interior, we've got the duct tape special holding the seat together. But unique thing on this one is it's a work truck. Normally it comes with a full bench. This one's got the split in the middle. So it's got that little center console that comes down, and the seats are separate. So I'm thinking if I hit a local scrapyard, I might be able to get this one single seat, or at least the seat bottom from another model, and it might be able to match up nicely. So we'll probably do that, or we'll look at pulling this all apart, maybe reupholstering it or putting a cover on it. We had to go out right away to the local dollar store, and we picked up our steering wheel cover because it's a work truck special and the steering wheel was pretty gnarly, and the hour drive would have been sticky. So steering wheel cover, best $5 you can spend. Armor All, decent little brand, and actually surprisingly, they say odor free. They're right, it doesn't smell like plastic. So good job on that one. Dashboard, we have one little indicator up here, an airbag warning, which what I've understand is a sensor in the front bumper, so that should be pretty straightforward as far as replacing is concerned. It had tire sensors issues because, well, the tires had been sitting flat, I think, for about 3 months, so we pumped air in those, so not a problem. Nice little item on this one is if we look at the dashboard, it's got the OEM radio, no big deal. I added my little phone thing, so if I had a phone call, I could take a Bluetooth without having an issue. But all the dials and everything are actually in decent shape. Nothing's missing. So other than being dirty, it's just going to need a good little once-over, and I think I might have an aftermarket radio for this. So we might do that as an upgrade. It's missing a couple of functional speakers. The door speakers don't work. There's one speaker right here by the driver's head that just blares. So that one's pretty good. So that one works, so that's nice. Headliner, a little dirty, but should clean up nicely. It's got the cruise control on it, so that's kind of cool. Air conditioning, old school manual windows. So if you're under the age of 30, you may not have seen those before. You're the mechanical muscle on that one. That's kind of nice. Rubber floors in decent shape. The big issue being from Southern Ontario. The doors aren't too bad. I can probably grind those up and clean them up. Not an issue there. But we do have a little bit of body work down below to take care of. So we might go ahead and order in some panels and do a replacement on that. Underneath the vehicle, surprisingly, it's been undercoated a couple times. Got a couple little marks on the side. Looks like someone's just bumped into something. And again, we've got that little rich patina of Southern Ontario in the wheel wells. Now, I think some of that will actually power wash out. A lot of that is dirt and grime and wasp nests. And yes, there were a few of those on pickup. So I think that'll tidy up. The wheels, surprisingly, the tires aren't in horrible shape, but I think they've aged out, so we may have to look at a set of wheels for it, or tires, that is. And if I'm going to do tires, I might go on to Kijiji and find a nice set of alloyed wheels to bolt on just to dress it up a little bit. Box has its typical little things and dents on it, but the actual box itself is not horrible. It's got a couple little scuff marks there. Looks like someone's put an ATV in it a couple times. The tailgate, it's got a little bit of rust on the lower end, so maybe we'll put a little piece of metal work there and clean that up. The bumper's in good shape, but the plastic cover isn't. So it looks like at some point, hooking up a hitch, they've managed to bump it a few times. It's got the nice little mud flaps, they'll clean up nicely. The exhaust, surprisingly, is intact and solid. And again, we've got a couple more little scrapes and scuffs, which seem to have led to this little rust, and that should clean up okay. Again, you can see that the framework is all coated in oil and dirt, so I think actually once I clean that up, it might be pretty solid underneath there, so that's surprising. Again, lower door on the passenger side is actually cleaner than the driver's. A little more rust on the passenger side, but again, that's a patch, no big deal. And again, just aged out tires, no big deal from that standpoint, so we're going to look for a nice set of aluminums there. And that kind of gives you a little run through on a little Chevy. Again, thank you very much for checking out the videos. I do greatly appreciate it. Have a pleasant and enjoyable day.